GM everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Juiced from Scratch. In the previous episode, we explored Varlamore Part 3, The Final Dawn, and what it had to offer in the Veiled Totems minigame, and got to 91 fletching along with all of the uniques from the minigame. And we did the Chambers of Zarek to obtain the Ancestral Hat along with the Dragon Claws. As I said at the end of the last video, things are going to heat up in this one. And I will have an Infernal Cape on my back at the end of this one. But before I can show that whole process, there are a few upgrades that we got before going full in for the cape. Thank you for stopping by today, and I hope you enjoy the video. I started off Inferno prep with getting level 85 prayer. And not actually related to the Inferno, but I realized I was super close to finishing out the Fremenic Elite Diary. So one of the steps I needed to get done was get an Armadillo kill for the killing each of the 4 God Wars dungeon bosses part of the Elite Diary. So I went to Arma and this happened. Oh my! I just got a 1 KC Armadillo helmet. I was literally just doing this for the task. Oh, and you thought this was all? No.
Fishing makes a lot of sense, but yeah, it's just like.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I just got an Armadillo chestplate, 5 KC. What? What? What is going on? That's insane. Yeah, that's the best Elite Diary step in the game for sure. After that insane spoon to finish the Fremenic Elite Diary, I went to the Dagonoth Kings and killed each of the kings for the final step of the diary. Alright, I just finished the Fremenic Elite Diary. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, as you just saw. So, gonna go and claim that right now. Still so crazy that I finished 2 out of 3 Armadillo pieces from doing this just really quickly. I was only doing this so I could get 81 agility because I just need a 50,000 XP lamp. So I also have a Dagonoth task, so I can better get to the caves now and also pick up all the bones. So with 81, there's one of the shortcuts that's permanently unlocked. And then I'll still have the Summer Pie boost for the first one, which is 86, but that's cool. So yeah, with that, there is 81 agility along with a crazy luck at Kriara. I know, this still isn't the Inferno, but it is still relevant progression, and this is a progression series after all. I was doing some tutorial skipping, or I guess tutorial point boosting rather, and ended up getting an Araxite task, which allowed me to go back to Araxor to try and finish out the Noxious Halberd, and I just went on a spree of doing all of the combat tasks there, so here's a little montage of that.
I'm bringing regular claws, but no.
Oh my god.
Oh, another.
Okay, Juice. Fuck you, man.
What am I supposed to do with that? It's my second
Hold it
one.
until you get it.
So yeah, I spooned a second fang. So what? Here's the CA, let it seep in. That's just keeping venom for the whole kill. Next CA I completed is Arachnid Lover, which is 10 kills in one trip. I then got Relaxor, which I forgot to record. Next up was Araxite Betrayal, and this happened. Hey, I'll take it. I don't care that I died. I don't care. I don't care. After that, all I needed to finish out CAs was the speedrunner task. Oh my god, I did it. Wow, that was really hard, honestly. But that's all the Raxor things I need. All the CAs.
It's like the longest fucking head phase ever, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, I missed my CC beam.
Yeah, I wonder who the bottleneck is.
For that miss CCB. Blue light for me. Check it out. Oh.
Oh, I needed Lizardman Fangs, actually. I'm kind of happy about that.
Dark and arrows.
Fucking back-to-back toilet paper, dude.
Wait, 25k points only?
Why does it say that? Your completed Chambers of Xeric count is 1577. That was a CM.
Wait.
Wait, did we just do a large scale raid? We did. It wasn't even a CM.
That wasn't even a fucking CM.
It's a large
Who started
scale
that
raid.
who shit? Who
That was
Randall!
Randall.
You were party leader, motherfucker. What did you do? What the fuck? I was like, where are my 5k points? What the?
Wait
Oh.
a minute.
How the fuck does that even work?
The next raid we ran an actual CM. Thanks, Randall. And I got the Immortal Raid Team Combat Achievement along with the Speedrunner Combat Achievement. That time is way too free nowadays.
I feel like not many people are getting the boots. Are they just like turbo rare or something?
They must
They're
be, man.
Probably the rarest item from there, yeah. Other than the pet.
Oh! What is
Oh.
that?
Oh,
Yes!
gold juice!
Yes, I got a
Yes!
Dex! Let's
Okay,
go!
No!
That's sick.
Back to back, Randall.
Let's
Don't
go! Let's go!
Hell yeah.
Not allowed to go to bed.
Oh, that's so big for Inferno, man.
huge, yeah.
That's so
Yeah, that's
big.
massive.
Let's go, brothers. Of course, gotta read the scroll with the boys that helped me get it. And this is gonna be a massive upgrade for the Inferno. Gonna hop in there soon. The Inferno. The most brutal challenge Old School RuneScape has to offer. Thousands of players have entered, and only a fraction have walked out with the Infernal Cape. It's the ultimate test of mechanical skill, game knowledge, and raw determination. Unlike any other PvM content in the game, the Inferno doesn't just punish mistakes, it ends runs instantly. Every tick counts, every prayer flick matters, and the deeper you go, the more the game throws at you. So, what exactly makes the Inferno so hard? A big part of the answer is its enemies. Each monster is designed to punish you in a different way, and mastering them all is the only path to victory, and so I want to go through and break them down one by one. First up, we have the Nibblers, and they spawn in the middle of every single wave and randomly pick any remaining pillar to attack. And if they manage to destroy one, it cannot be used for safe spawning, and it will damage any player or monster that is standing on adjacent tiles upon collapse. Next up is the Bat, and this monster will attack you with ranged, drain your run energy if not prayed against, as well as lower combat stats if its hit is successful. Next is the Blob, and this is arguably the hardest part of the Inferno. At least in my opinion, this is what makes the Inferno so hard. To put it simply, the blob can attack with either mage or range depending on what overhead you're praying. If you're praying mage, it will hit you with a range attack, and if you're praying range, it'll hit you with a mage attack. And this is tricky because you can have multiple monsters looking at you at once in the Inferno. This thing also will spawn 3 smaller blobs at after killing it, which can also just throw a wrench into the wave. So you have to be strategic for when you actually decide to kill and deal with the blobs, because you can have a lot of attacks coming at you at once and not be able to do anything about it. Next up, we have the Meleeer. It can only attack with melee, so it's pretty easy to deal with. The catch is that it can dig to you after 30 seconds and just throw a wrench in your positioning, which can cause some confusion in how you're supposed to solve the wave. Otherwise, pretty straightforward. Just pray melee and you'll null its attacks. Next up is the Ranger, and it does exactly what you would think. It throws out range attacks at you that have a max hit of 46, so they're pretty scary if you're not praying against them. Simply praying range against them will solve it, but when it's in a stack, it can be pretty difficult to deal with. The last monster in the main waves of the Inferno is the Major. This guy boasts a max hit of 70, so they are incredibly scary. Can wipe your run instantly. And the catch with this guy is it can respawn an ally from the wave that you have previously killed, so you want to make sure you prioritize killing the Major in every wave that it appears. After completing wave 66 of the Inferno, you will make it to the single Jad wave, wave 67. And this is as simple as it sounds. It's just one Jad, the same exact fight as the fight caves where you get your fire cape from. So it's a pretty easy wave in itself. And the difficult wave, 68 with 3 Jads, is after the single Jad. Now, in actuality, triple Jads is fairly simple. You're just spray flicking between each of its attacks, and it's pretty easy to tell what it's going to be throwing out at you. But the scary part is Jad can max hit 113, so there's a high likelihood that if you do miss a flick that your run ends there and you don't even get to Zuck. Finally, there is Tizcal Zuck at wave 69, nice, of the Inferno. But we can talk more about him later on in the video. My first run was on July 6th, and it was looking very promising. I can melt this Major before the Meleeer digs. Looking unlikely. As soon as I recognized that the Meleeer was going to dig, that means I had to set up an alternate flick with the blob. And this is why I was saying the Inferno is so hard because of blobs. If you mess that up, you can take a lot of damage. But luckily, my skills from completing the cape on the main have kind of remained, and I was able to get this wave solved. My first run was going so well that I made it all the way to wave 60, and this was where I kind of had my first panic moment. As you can see, I'm getting hit by the Ranger, the Meleeer just dug. I didn't recognize the off tick, so I just ran south. Definitely a mistake. I could have easily just off ticked the melee and solved the wave there. But I ran south, I killed the blob, and continue from here. The Meleeer digs to me again. I finish off the small blobs, And I yellow click the meleeer for another 26 to the face. I use this opportunity to use the meleeer as a means of getting some health back using Blood Barrage, which is very recommended for a first cape. Blood Barrage is your best friend. If you ever have the opportunity, you should definitely sit there and take that opportunity. After I finished the meleeer, I recognized that I could off-tick the Major and Ranger with a simple step out to the west side, and the Major proceeds to spawn the meleeer back. And I'm kind of just hoping I can melt the Major here pretty quick. But I end up being just a tiny bit short on the DPS, and I take a 35 to the face. So this first attempt went really well, but I think this is kind of the perfect example of what you shouldn't do in the Inferno. I made a lot of mistakes on this one wave in particular, which cost me most of my brews. As you can see in my inventory, I brought in 7. I'm now down to 3.5, and that's where I'm left for wave 61. This is the same exact spawn that I dealt with on wave 60, and you can very clearly see that the Ranger and melee are off tick, and right as I go to start off ticking them, I die. And that is how the first attempt ends. Overall, really happy with, my first Inferno in a really long time, getting all the way to wave 61. I definitely had some luck along the way to get me there, and my skills were tested in the later waves, and I just couldn't pull through. Well, I guess it's not a one and done. Silly mistake. I saw that they were off ticked, and I should have timed it. I just got really nervous. Yeah, I mean, this feels incredibly doable though, so that at least feels good. And I'll get back in there tomorrow and maybe do another try. This second attempt is the perfect example on why you should never chase the nibblers. So the wave spawns, we're only at wave 31, double blob wave, so technically one of the harder waves. And I go so hard for the nibblers that I end up not getting the melee trapped behind the pillar, which forces me to hopefully get an off tick, which they are, and I at least recognize that and fix that mistake from yesterday. So I'm able to finish off the Ranger, and then proceed with the meleeer. And I don't really know what happened. I guess I mistimed flicking both of the blobs after going for the nibblers, and it killed me. Wave 31 is attempt number 2. Attempt 3, I got to wave 45. This was honestly just a really big blunder on my part. I don't even really know what I was thinking. Probably just had a long day of work and wasn't really in the game. Attempt 4, I just gave up here. I won't even lie. I just straight up gave up on this one. Attempt 5 was more promising. I had a double west spawn for the Major and the Ranger on wave 52, and this was a big learning moment for me, or relearning moment I should say. If you stand in the middle of the east side of the pillar, you can manually step out praying range first and then switch to mage, and they will be off ticked. The Ranger will be attacking you first and the Major will be attacking you next. So this was a good learning moment. for sure. On wave 54 of this run, I had a perfectly solvable wave, very easy, but I decided to chase nibblers again, of course, and took absolutely so much damage for no reason. It's so cringy watching this back. Finally, I'm feeling okay, and I start killing the major when it respawns the blob, which luckily hits me for a 0. And then I go out to start killing the major again, and it respawns the bat, so I get confused. And all you have to do in this scenario is just keep alternate flicking, but I just tripped myself up, didn't pray mage against the major, and got hit because I was low and died. Attempt 6 was going very well. I made it past my PB of 61, but unfortunately using some brews along the way, but that's okay. You can still do Zuck even if you use some of your brews. It's not impossible to do. Wave 65, not usually a hard wave. I actually kind of end up making it hard on myself here. Just take a look. Would it be stupid to come out here just to kill rangers and then get this guy to pull? Or, I can just go out here and tank him, right?
If it makes it easier for you, yeah, you can go to the east, but you can set up an off-tick right now if you are comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think I could do it. I don't think I want to risk it.
Then yeah, just go to the east.
So I finally make the decision to walk over to the east side, start tanking the rangers, just to get the major closer so I can safe spot the ranger again, and then I make this mistake. Luckily, I notice that they're off-ticked, and I'm able to complete the wave from here. After that scary wave 65, I was able to make it all the way to triple Jads. From my experience in the Inferno, triple Jads has never been something I've struggled with, really. I don't find that the prayer flicking is super punishing in any way. There's kind of a lot of leeway in between each of the Jad's attacks, and you just have to make sure you don't lose focus. This is where I make my next big mistake in this run. I decided to try and start blood barraging the healers after purposely trapping the one that didn't attack me, so I wouldn't be getting meleeed. And I proceed to just sit here and be like, come on, like just hit, and just nothing is hitting. And then I say screw it, I switch back to the Bofa and start killing the Jad. And at this point, the meleeer has already chipped me down from 75 to 55 HP, which is going to cost me some brew doses, which are super vital in the healer phase in Zuck. So after I kill the Jad, I have a second to breathe since I had clicked log out, and I get ready for Zuck. My replay buffer wasn't long enough to be able to see the whole start of Zuck, but you can see in my inventory I only have one brew remaining. After the first set, I kind of got pretty unlucky with the hits from the Ranger, so I was left with one brew after the first set. Otherwise, from the first set, the Zuck went pretty normal. I'll just let the rest play out until we get to healers. Was able to finish off Jad with minimal damage taken from the healers, and now it's time to proc the Zuck healers. Already you can notice some pretty glaring issues with how I'm actually doing this. First of all, I am not prioritizing staying behind. I get chance there and get hit by Zuck. Luckily it hits a 0 somehow. And I keep yellow clicking each of the healers. That is my other pretty big mistake here. Otherwise, honestly, even with taking that Zuck hit, like, this was pretty close to being a one and done Zuck. If I had just had some more healing, I probably would have been able to just finish this one out, but unfortunately, this is where I perish. Well,
Close.
it was close. So that last attempt was attempt 6, and this is actually footage from attempt 8. I did have a 7th attempt, but it was so embarrassing that I didn't even record it. In that one, I had just gotten to like wave 15, and I kind of like doom sent it right after finishing that Zuck attempt, and the next day I got refreshed and went back in. Ended up getting to wave 45 here, and you can kind of just watch and see what happens. And this decision right here is what ends up costing me the run. I cannot stress this enough. If you are going for your first cape, all you need is your north pillar. Do not do this. Do not go out and be a nibbler chaser, especially on your first cape. Just get CAs whenever you end up getting Slayer tasks for it, because that just cost me like an hour almost of my life. Attempt 9 was soon after, and I was able to make it to triple Jads again. Just a little context for what you're about to see happen. I was in a Discord call with friends. I was asking about, oh, can I find a way to tag the Zuck healers using True Tile? Because I was having a big problem with yellow clicking them, as I stated in the previous Zuck attempt. And yeah, just never lose attention in the Inferno. No, wait! Oh my god, I just didn't pray. Oh, well,
What the?
okay. After a disappointing attempt 9, I hop back in to try and get back to Zuck. Here, I'm trying to blow pipe the meleeer down so I can start alt-flicking the blob and get the nibbler off my pillar. I sit here alt-flicking for a little bit, getting ready to pray mage and start attacking the major.
Shot.
I take a second to make sure I'm praying mage on the correct tick, and I start flicking. And from here, I'm able to solve the wave. Wave 56, I get a double west bob spawn along with a mage range stack on the south side of the north pillar. Now, this may not seem super impressive to some of you, but I am still pretty proud of this solve. To be able to correctly do this, what you need to do is pray against whatever is back in the double stack first, and then immediately pray against whatever's in front. And since there are two blobs looking at me, I have to make sure that I'm alt-flicking. I can't just alternate every time the major attacks. So I'm glad I was able to recognize this one so fast and I didn't end up tanking any damage from the blobs. Just kind of a proud moment there. I am incredibly proud of that solve. That was probably one of the hardest waves I could have gotten on 56. The rest of the waves after 56 went incredibly smoothly, and I ended up back at Zuck. I want to give a big shout out to my good friend Flan RS. You may have seen his YouTube series on rebuilding his account. If not, go check him out. His link will be in the description. For each of my Zuck attempts I had, he was in a Discord call with me doing timers. Big shout out to him.
You have about 2 minutes. You have 45 seconds, roughly, until the next set. So just heal it.
How long?
Spawning in about 10. Patience game now.
Is he waiting for another side?
No, he just needs to be patient with his hits. And try not to get too excited.
Oh, he's past healers already. I'm watching.
Yeah.
There we go, baby.
Easy game.
Oh, there we go.
Let's go.
With 4 brews to spare. Ah, that feels good. Not gonna lie. Let's fucking go! Oh, today was the day, baby. Holy. Oh, as you just saw, I got the cape. I did it. I want to go over kind of my tiny grind. This honestly, I'm happy. All right. So I've been keeping track. I have a little notepad that I will put up on screen. That I was tracking all my attempts. So for the first attempt ever on this account, I got to wave 61, and I died to not flicking a melee. Just got bopped. I don't think I have that one recorded. For 2 on wave 31, I died to blobs. 45, the meleeer and the mage were on the same tick, so I just got meleeed out again. The 4th attempt was wave 30. I am just bad at the video game. 5, I got to wave 54, and it was a misflick. And then on number 6, you guys saw my first Zuck attempt on this account. And it's my first time I've ever done it with a Bofa at all. And I only had 3 brews going into Zuck, so it wasn't an ideal situation. So I ended up running out of healing and died with 2 healers still up. Attempt 7, we don't talk about attempt 7, you know. That was right after attempt 6. I died at like wave 15. I don't even have an explanation. Attempt 8, I got to wave 45. I got really greedy for nibblers, ended up chasing and dying to a double melee hit, stacked me out for over 60 damage. So that was just a dumb mistake. And then 9, I did yesterday in real time, and I was feeling incredibly confident. I had gotten to triples with 8 brews, all 8 brews that I brought in. I didn't use a single one. I had great supplies, and I was just in Discord with friends, and I ended up just kind of not paying attention to one of Jad's attacks and just didn't pray mage. And then attempt 10 was this one where I actually got the cape. So 10 attempts, that's pretty damn good in my opinion. I've done 2 capes on my main with a twisted bow and max gear, so I'm very familiar with the Inferno. I wouldn't say it's like my most comfortable piece of content. I haven't really touched it since I got 2 capes, which was about a little over a year and a half ago at this point. So I'm really happy overall with how long this took me and just my performance. I had a couple of good solves during the waves that I was pretty proud of, and I'm just hyped. I'm hyped. I have an Infernal Cape on the Ironman. Let's go, man. Let's go. It's that time again for an end of the video recap. The focus of this video was getting the Infernal Cape, and we got it. It took 10 attempts in total, as I just went over, and I'm really happy to have this done. This is actually one of the requirements for my new clan Ascent PVM. I'll talk about them more in later videos, but just know that it's a community for Ironman PVMers that are towards the late game, so you'll probably see me raiding and doing group content with them in the future. Along with the beautiful Infernal Cape today, I spooned the hell out of Armadil and got the Armadil chestplate along with the helmet. Also allowing me to finish out the Fremenic Elite Diary, and of course from Chambers of Zarek to help me get the Infernal Cape, I got the Dexterous Prayer Scroll unlocking Rigor in my prayer book. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, like the video, share it with friends, and maybe even subscribe for the next step in the Juiced from Scratch series. Peace out.